Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Metamorph League. In this episode, a lot of viewers have requested that I talk about my specters. So specifically for this video, we're going to be talking about support specters, what support specters you can use, why you would use them, what they're good for, stats about them, things that actually matter, and I hope this video can be informative for the person wondering about the support specters we're using in our zombie build. Enjoy. This is the Carnage Chieftan. He is a badass, monster-destroying, absolute badass. As you see here, he is just demolishing the competition at level 53. Look at this, man. So the main reason for this specter that you have him is for his ability to generate the frenzy charges for your build. So normally this unit would have a 6-second cooldown on this ability, and he would literally be pretty useless most of the time. But we've linked him to this blood magic support so that he can spam his ability. He has no mana problems, and his cooldown's gone, and he just goes crazy. Look at him. So he's just constantly generating us our frenzy charges when we're chilling. You can see how unreliable one of them is when we're moving around a little bit. So that's why I use two Carnage Chieftains. Hope you guys enjoy that explanation. Also, they're pretty tanky and can keep up with you usually when you're running. To get the Carnage Chieftain yourself, you will come to this Ashen Fields in Act 7, where you see me fighting monsters with the Carnage Chieftain. You will desecrate. In my build, it's when I Cyclone. I have the Castle Channeling Spirit Offering Desecrate thing, and so here you can see I've generated it. To highlight the names like I'm doing, you hold A while you hover the bodies. You can see I didn't find one. So you're looking for a monkey on the ground. Carnage Chieftain. Here we go. You can see the red. So you know when you found the body because you can see it on the ground. Like up here is probably him if I can highlight him. Carnage Chieftain of Elemental Resistance. You can see this is a host chieftain. It's time to talk about a host chieftain. So here we have a host chieftain. Let me spawn this boy. Let me get myself my Spectre gem. Let's get host chieftain. And then here we go. So what he does is when he sees enemies, he's giving us power charges in an area. So same thing as the Carnage Chieftain, basically. You don't need to go through it all again, but basically it's the same thing. And instead of Frenzy, you get power. So you use both of them, and you're generating both your Frenzy and power charges in the build with two Spectres. Super simple. I like to go at least two Carnage and one Host Chieftain, because you don't really care too much about the power charges, but they'll stay up pretty reliably, just like the other one. And yeah, this one's pretty simple. Same thing. Ashen Fields Act 7 to raise it, and then you can look for the bodies with holding A, and then spawn it with the Raise Spectre gem. Boom. The Diabolist. This weird looking thing, right? What does it do? Enfeeble, actually. You see that big ass circle that it casted? Yeah, watch this. It just casted it. It has blood magic. Cast again. Wait, you think that's it? No, we could cast it again. Oh, you think that's it? No, it casted two more. It spams Enfeeble. So if you guys want to just have a spam Enfeeble bot right here, you can run the Diabolus. It's actually not that terrible. Like, look at how consistently it is enfeebling most of this map. Obviously, I am not enfeebling at all, so like the fact that most of the monsters were enfeebled from our Diabolus is doing pretty well. I'm not sure. there's another Diabolus, the enemy Diabolus, to show that the blood magic isn't really required to make this thing spam, as you can see. Maybe we get two casts out of it where the other one only does one, but either way, it seems pretty useful if you guys want to get Enfeeble in your build without casting it yourself or cycloning or having it as a curse on hit on the gloves. You can get an Enfeeble curse Spectre. So this is in the upper prison in Act 1, and you just come here, use your Cyclone, like I said always, and then you hover the dead bodies with A, and you can find a Diabolus like that. Boom! You can even see it on the ground every time. Super simple. I personally don't like the Diabolus because the the casting is unreliable. I want to put it on the targets that I want it on. You have to give up a Spectre to have this, which in that case would be like a Host Chieftain, and you'll see in a second that we need to give up a Host Chieftain for a different Spectre. It's hard to fit Diabolus in the build. Also, when you want to go like offensive curses, you can't really fit a defensive curse Spectre into your build. That's unreliable. Yeah, but you guys can use it. It's good. It's just not great. So I actually opened up a Teespring and added one product to my Teespring. We've made a t-shirt. We're going to start selling this. This is below each video now. It's linked to the YouTube, so you can support the channel and me by buying a t-shirt. It's our only product. We don't know if we're going to ever do another if I'm ever going to do another product, but this is my one thing. We have the Game Report 1 simple, nice design on a t-shirt. Thank you. The Runes Hellion. What is it? Where do you get it, and what is it good for? Okay, so you see this dog Spectre that I have? Let me just get rid of the electricity. Okay, so this dog Spectre right here. Yeah, so what he's doing is he likes to do a rallying cry. And so rallying cry is going to give me a buff, well, everyone in the area of my allies and me, a buff that is based on the number of enemies that the Runes Hellion taunts. So the more enemies that the Rune Hellion taunts, then the more that I get buffed. And so it's like 1.4 to 1.78% per enemy increased damage. So you need like 20 enemies for this to be 30%. And then it's also a taunt, and it also gives mana regen, and it's an 8-second buff. So I was going to start trying this out because of niche well, generally it might taunt like a lot of things and then get like a lot of damage added, but maybe it's just when you actually need this kind of thing, there's going to be one target, and therefore Runes Hellion is only 1.4% increased damage, and it's completely useless. It's only good in the case that you're getting overwhelmed by too many monsters, or there's just constant monster spawns being used. But with trying to use it to fight bosses, because that's like the downside of our zombies because of single target, I guess, the Runes Hellion isn't really going to be the solution there, to be honest. But yeah, if you want it, activate the Quay. Activate the Quay, and you can spawn Runes Hellion, same strat, desecrate, and then you just A to highlight the dead bodies, and then you spawn it with your Spectre. So what is the conclusion after showing you all of the Spectres? Well, right now I have grabbed a Carnage Chieftain and a Host Chieftain, so the conclusion is I will grab another Host Chieftain and another Carnage Chieftain, and we will run our 2 Carnage Chieftain, 2 Host Chieftain, because I realized that, like I pointed out, you don't need the curse from the Diabolist, okay, and then you don't need this Runes Hellion, and mostly because you don't need an AoE buffer, you need it to be a good, strong, single target buff to help kill bosses, because that's where we really need damage, not for for the masses. The masses of white monsters die instantly. We need it for the single target bosses, unique, big single target. I feel like this is also an important part of the Spectre video. So the Spectres, you get your 3rd Spectre at raise when the raise Spectre gem level is 25 now. So to get that, you have to have the 21 base level plus 2 from your global modifier, which is from your ascendancy, and then you have to get 2 from somewhere else. So this can be an Empower 3, an Empower 4, a helmet with a plus 2. In this case, we have the Baron giving us a plus 2 to Socket Minion gems. You just need to get this raise Spectre to level 25 to get the 3rd Spectre now. And to get our 4th Spectre, we use Death Attunement. Yeah, you can get another Spectre on a chest plate, which is a Delve drop. It's has to be dropped from Delve. You cannot roll the mod yourself. The other thing is, for your race Spectres, I use my race Spectres linked to Blood Magic, and I like Minion Life, and specifically this helmet has the +2 to minion gems. We have our skill tree for the extra life, and then we have the 20% increase maximum life for minions here. We also give our minions half of our strength, so when we have 1750 strength, we're giving our minions 875 strength, so keep that in mind. And then the other thing is the level of the specters really helps their survival. So if you're missing the level 25 specters, that could help. Maybe even go higher than that, you know. Imagine if you just for the people, if you're somehow using specters as carries, but you're somehow watching my specter support video, then a tip for you if your shit is dying is get the gem level up. That's gonna get the health up a lot. So if you can get level 30 specters, that's the way you're really gonna be doing good. The other thing is, with our support specters, we have a stone golem in the helmet. So this is actually a 4th link that I'm not even using in the helmet. I could replace this with an Empower 4. I can replace this with Meat Shield. I can use Elemental Army to get some elemental exposure for my zombos. I can give my specters Feeding Frenzy if I want to. Thanks for watching this episode. I hope you could learn something about the support specters. If you guys want a more in-depth video on other things, please leave a comment in the comment section below. But what else you would like more in-depth videos on with all the stuff that I've learned? If I left anything out, I'll make sure to reply to the comments in the comment section below. I'll take this opportunity to thank my Patreon and my YouTube members who financially support the channel. Thank you guys so much. You guys are all so generous. Honestly, I couldn't do this without you guys. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Jake, Tradnix, Hannah, Steven, C, Last, Fable, Stacy, Hughes, Biggest Lad, White Wolf, Garbar, Tradnix, White Wolf, Varkbone, Kirby, John, Lelouch, Lamprood, Dawid, and Dubu. Thank you guys for all the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!